The political left likes to demonize the political right for their cuts. But the political left likes to make cuts of their own. The political left cuts important military capacities. Labour famously abolished the strike wing in the early 2000s. The Greens wanted to get rid of the frigates and abolish our ocean combat capacity completely. The left also likes cuts, just of a very different type. The political right cut services for ordinary people to fund tax cuts for the wealthy. That is revolting. That is detestable. But left-wing cuts also have serious issues. Defending the nation is one of the most fundamental purposes of the state. Neglecting this capacity is simply not acceptable. Helen Clark argued that the strike wing should have been abolished as it had never been used. She failed to recognise that the entire point of the military is deterrence. If you never have to use it, that means it is doing its job. Peace through strength, it is not that complicated. Supposedly abolishing the strike wing was justified due to the benign geostrategic environment. But this fails to recognise just how volatile the international order can be. Things can change very rapidly. Many New Zealanders probably felt safe in the 1930s, but by the end of the decade, we were involved in the largest war in history. The 2000s and 2010s felt safe, but it is obvious that we are living in a very different world now. A massive land war rages in Europe. Israel and its adversaries have been involved in conflict and atrocities in the Middle East, and the USA is led by a clown who has no interest in maintaining a rules-based order. The international order is volatile. You have to be prepared for a diverse range of possibilities. Having some degree of combat air force capacity is very important. These skills take a very long time to develop. If we ever want to get them back, that will take many years and much investment. That is the reality. Even if we just kept some combat-capable jet trainers, at least we would have the skills to acquire more capable aircraft and employ them swiftly. The strike wing requires a massive amount of skill and experience, and in a volatile international order, it is wise to retain that skill and experience. Because if ever you need it, you may not have the time to properly develop it from nothing. This is a very simple strategic calculation that motivates many nations to retain seemingly unnecessary military capacities. Especially unhinged was the Green Party proposal to get rid of the frigates. The thought of a major island nation having no sea combat capacity is just laughable. Our enemies could terrorise us with impunity, employing just a single submarine or a small corvette. That would be embarrassing, and it leaves us vulnerable. As an isolated island nation, we are very vulnerable to commerce raiding. Being able to counter commerce raiding is very important. That requires decent warships. Without decent warships, we would be incapable of conducting lengthy anti-submarine operations. We would be massively vulnerable in an increasingly unstable world. We need to invest in our defence force. Some people insist that nobody has a good reason to attack us. But since when did warmongers need a good reason for waging war? Never rely on the rationality of irrational states. A stronger military would improve our national security, give us greater leverage as an alliance partner, and improve our sovereignty by making us less reliant on our allies. Many people on the left want to simultaneously have an independent foreign policy and a weak military. If you want to stand alone, fine. Having no allies requires a stronger military force. Just look at Sweden, Switzerland, Yugoslavia, and the various other countries that have had this independent approach. They have had very powerful military forces. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. If you want to have an independent defence policy, you have to pay for your own defence. We need to invest immediately. It is good to see the government is offering such investment, although I am deeply sceptical about their capacity to fund it. If we want to fund the necessary investment, we will require a revitalised economy or new taxes. Again, you cannot have your cake and eat it too. If you want something, you have to pay for it.